Next up, Russ and I are going to cover some news from your favorite boutique studios like Kino More, Vinegar Syndrome, and more. Welcome back to 4K Kings. I am Matt.
I am Russ.
And welcome everyone to the only place to go for physical media news, movie reviews, friendship, and more.
And if you like what you see, subscribe to the page, like this video, leave us a comment. Every little bit of support helps us, and we're here to keep physical media alive, which I'm sure you are interested in if you are here.
How many people do you think want to keep physical media alive? Well, Russ, we've got quite a lot of physical media news today. A couple big stories from some of everyone's favorite boutique labels. Maybe the hottest news story that I saw, that thing that's really shaking the internet up.
Sexy news.
Sexy. Physical media after hours. So, Russ, I would be referring to Showgirls. From Vinegar Syndrome. Now, they put out some big, surprise announcement. There's going to be some things for their halfway to Black Friday sale. They had a lot of mystery titles, and sort of the big heavyweight that showed up in there, which they were teasing as their next big VSU, Showgirls in 4K, which is its U.S. debut, which they're doing that a lot lately.
Yeah, I know.
And again, according to Vinegar Syndrome, this is their biggest Vinegar Syndrome Ultra or VSU to date. They said they've been working on this release for over a year to bring what they call the definitive edition of Showgirls to the fans.
Okay, show me your tits.
Limited details so far, kind of like most of the time when they announce these, they kind of tease what is to come, but not exactly everything yet. Here's what they do mention. Extensive, exclusive restoration using the source files from Paul Verhoeven's supervised color grade to ensure a presentation which looks exactly as intended, but without any of the digital manipulation which has notoriously plagued other releases. I mean, damn, what a flex.
It really was. Wow.
Oh, shit.
That was a mic drop moment. Bars.
It was,
wow.
Seriously. And they kind of have been doing that on Instagram a little bit. They posted their new scan machine or whatever they're using to do these transfers. They post this huge machine that they just purchased for this. So, I mean, they really are putting a lot of these sales back into this business to really make it something special.
They're throwing their dick on the table, man.
They're letting you know.
This is how we do it. Step your game up.
They're basically like, look, everyone's fucked with this film. You know who you are. You all suck. We're going to do it right for once. So what they also mention is hours of archival and behind-the-scenes footage, commentaries, and new, never-before-seen material, plus a 40-page perfect bound book. Do you remember, Russ, when we covered this so long ago, when it was coming out? Umbrella. And it had that dumbass, pink outer border on the classic cover art.
I'm sorry. Some people just don't get it.
We also mentioned at the same time that Cape Light had put this out in 4K in their patented
the traditional
digibooks.
cover.
Yeah, it was a digibook book, right, with the traditional cover. And based on what they just said about how they, took care of the transfer, I wonder if that's who they're throwing shade at. Let me just talk really quickly, Russ, if we could, the art for a second here. So this is, I think, the most jarring thing of it all, where I personally am just so used to that classic art, Elizabeth Berkley, the legs coming out, that's just all I've ever known. So when I saw this, it really took me by surprise. Obviously, the inner slipcover will probably be that.
I recall you saying something similar about Roadhouse.
What did I say, Russ?
You
rewind the tapes. Sometimes when you have this kind of let's fill out every last inch of it, I feel like sometimes it can come across a little busy.
I want you to be nice.
Looking at this, not only the box is nice, the magnet clasp is great. The art's pretty cool. I'm kind of liking it more and more as I look at it.
You weren't a fan when it was initially put out. You were skeptical of that cover because you thought it was too neon.
I thought it was too busy. You're right.
Too busy, yes. I'm with you. I'm not blown away. But as you said, when you open it up, you're going to get all the traditional stuff.
The inside slip cases that they do, which we talked about with Roadhouse, is also raised. So I bet that slip cover with that original art is probably going to be awesome too. Mm-hmm. $65, while worth the price, is very expensive. And to sell it for $40, it's come on, let's sell this bitch out.
Oh, I know.
You know what I mean?
As soon as I saw that halfway sale,
yeah.
Well, I got to get it now. And it's definitely going to go. It's a great film. I don't care. And I love Verhoeven.
I will say I've only seen it once, and maybe I'd be right there with you seeing it again as an adult. I would consider getting just the slipcase version, which I still think is going to be great. I can't wait to see this in person, and maybe we'll come back and do a full Showgirls review and really dig in deeper to this movie. We need a little bit more sexy time on these episodes, Russ. The next release that I want to talk about just really quickly, The Lighthouse from A24. David Eggers' second film after The Witch and before The Northman. A24 is the company that put it out. They're more and more putting out their A24 releases in collector's editions. It started off as kind of like just Blu-rays, really great packaging. Now it's Blu-rays or 4Ks in really great packaging. So this is coming out March 28th. I really appreciate, even outside of their releases here, their merch store. Like, they have all kinds of stuff that are completely tied into every movie they put out, from books, shirts, home decor, vinyls. They have a cool Moonlight vinyl. And now their physical media stuff is really taking off. All the releases are really great. Damn, they're like, you want 9 of these bitches? Like, fuck. Vinegar Syndrome's like, limited 2. They're like, nope, you want 9? How many of these you need? Baker's dozen? Another reason to be excited about this is that the Lighthouse, this is its 4K debut. So it is coming out in 4K through its own studio. It was already out in Blu-ray, which when it came out in Blu-ray, I was actually kind of pissed because I thought if I was ever going to watch this movie again, it would be in 4K. It's a really cool-ass movie to look at, but not really a movie per se. Even Robert Eggers himself has mentioned that this barely registers as a movie. But visually, it's like very captivating. And I thought, wow, it was like, what a missed opportunity. Outside of the movie being in 4K for the first time, it's also coming with a handful of featurettes, one about the costume designers, the score of the film. And then again, just like looking at this thing, it just looks like it's like a book. It's like oversized. It is like a traditional like digibook, but again, the detail on the cover itself, a printed disc pack with an enclosed, embossed, waved, textured slipcase. And then inside, of course, there's pictures and drawings and like all kinds of stuff that about this movie in particular, like how they filmed it, how they needed to shoot certain things. This movie is worth watching just for Willem Dafoe alone, and I'm sure there's a lot of movies that are, you could say, that are like that, where it's like Willem Dafoe's just such a great actor and, in my opinion, very underrated. I don't even know if he's ever won a real award for any of his acting, which he should have if he hasn't.
Probably has an MTV Movie Award for Spider-Man.
If you haven't seen it and you want to see something that's really super trippy, if you want to see, you know, Robert Pattinson have sex with a mermaid and other adventures, it's pretty interesting. If you are a fan, this is the release to get. I'd be interested to see what Arrow does. They wouldn't do anything this classy, but they probably do something fun too. But another release for us that we've been dying for, talked about 100 times at least, but it's finally been announced, is The Night of the Hunter, which now has a release date a year after the announcement, coming out May 30th, and what the fans have been waiting for. Previously released on Criterion, this is its 4K debut, a new 4K restoration of the film from the original camera negative, Dolby Vision HDR presentation, a commentary, and isolated music effects track.
Oh my God, it has an isolated music and effects soundtrack. That's incredible. To anyone who's seen this, the music in this movie is just haunting, beautiful, phenomenal.
Then you've got a Blu-ray disc with all the special features, which contains a new Ernest Dickerson featurette where he discusses The Night of the Hunter. How crazy is that?
Do you get the connection though?
I do. That's why I said it.
He was the cinematographer on Do the Right Thing, and Radio Raheem's character, they do the love and hate. They homage Night of the Hunter in it.
A new featurette with actress Kathy Garver and an artist Joe Coleman are also there to discuss Night of the Hunter. I'm not sure who they are or how they relate, but they're there as well. The Criterion version has a ton of features on here, which are completely different than this. There's no crossover whatsoever. It also includes, which some people are really upset by, the documentary on the making of, which I guess contains footage at the time this movie was filmed. Like, it's like a documentary from back then. Mm-hmm. And people love that, plus a few other featurettes that are, I guess, are pretty quintessential to the collector that wants to know the most about this movie.
I'm in the boat of, I was going to upgrade this anyway, and I already own the Criterion, so doesn't matter to me. I'm all right. I'm sitting pretty. Would somebody let me know in the comments, was this artwork the original artwork, like maybe an original poster back in 1956? I don't know, for a film that's so strikingly visual in many scenes, I can't say I'm enamored by this artwork.
I did as much digging as I possibly could, and I did not find this image anywhere. The original poster art's in color. You know that one, he's like got like a blue suit on and it's like yellow and white. It's an illustration completely. I've seen other posters as well that he's on it, but this is never one that I found anywhere, and I searched everywhere. But maybe I'm still wrong, like Russ said. If you know, let us know. I do like the artistic touch where he's hugging with the love hand and he's holding the dagger with the hate hand. I think that's kind of cool. But you're right, like, I've seen better imagery for this film. I definitely have this in my cart. Going to pre-order it when the time's right. Coming out May 30th.
You'll like it.
I can't wait.
You'll like it.
I can't wait. Lastly, Russ, just for a little bit of fun, you know, every once in a while I like to throw a little fun in there. Some movie I absolutely will never watch, probably haven't seen. But it's interesting to me, again, that physical media keeps on churning out just stuff like for people that love these kinds of movies. And this is one that caught my eye. It's a movie I didn't even know existed. I never even heard the name before. And it's called McBain. Christopher Walken and Maria Conchita Alonso. Have you heard of this movie?
No.
Look at this. I mean, okay, tagline. The drug lords have the power, the money, the connections. They didn't count on McBain. But I'm going to put the cherry on top. You know who else is in this but isn't in the credits? I'll give you one guess.
Michael Ironside.
Yes!
Really?
This looks like a Michael Ironside movie.
I know.
He's definitely the villain or the henchman, the main henchman. You know what I mean? The second in command to the main villain.
Dude, this is Michael Ironside's bread and butter right here.
Yeah.
I mean,
the genre is called Michael Ironside.
The release of the year here, it's coming. Are you ready, Russ? It's coming stacked with a new 5.1 surround soundtrack.
You don't say.
And a 2K restoration if anyone cares. I think it's just a miracle that it's even coming out on Blue. So just take what you can get. It does say for some reason newly translated removable English subtitles. Like before,
Removable?
could you not remove them before? And were they bad? Like before they were bad and you couldn't get rid of them. This movie came out in 1991 from a guy named James Glickenhaus. He was a director of a bunch of bad movies, but he also produced movies like Basket Case and Frankenhooker.
Oh, okay.
He's also directed a movie called like The Exterminator. He's also the director of the smash hit Shakedown. Christopher Walken is a POW who was saved in Vietnam. 18 years go by, and the daughter of the man who saved him needs help avenging his death. I think these posters look great. Most people that I've read say that the posters are better than the movies themselves.
That is a typical attribute of the Michael Ironside genre.
Really?
Here's the other poster where Walken's kind of got like his leg up, looking at over this.
Look at him. His legs breaking up the title of the movie. That looks like it's his MC Bane.
It's his hip-hop album. So our friends at Synapse are putting that out July 11th. So if you're an MC Bane fan, come and get it. And that's all the Blue news we've got for the week. If you like this video, consider subscribing. Throw us a like. Share this with a friend. We got a lot coming up.
We got Nicolas Cage challenges coming up. We've got a whole bunch in the works.
So stick
We're
around.
like MC Bane. We go hard.